At isa na namang maligayang hapon sa inyong lahat. Muli, ito ang Kalambag! So, syempre, bago natin simulan ang ating episode ngayon, tanungin muna natin ang ating mga kasama kung ano nga ba ang kanilang nararamdaman within like the past few days. So, Jacob, ikaw, kamusta ka naman?
Ako po, very, very excited to be here. Today is a very special day for me since, Kalambag back in action. I haven't hosted an episode in a long time, but today I'll be handling the flow and I'm very excited for that. Today is actually also another special day. This is my first episode in my dormitory. So, the Wi-Fi is going to be a bit shakier, but let's just hope it goes well. Thank you.
Okay, ayun. So, ikaw naman, Kuya Akim, kamusta ka?
Ayan, no? Very excited, no? So far, no? Kasi even though may pinagdaanan na, of course, alam mo yung parang problema na patungan na naman ng another problem. But despite of that, alam ko naman kakayanin ko to lahat. And of course, no? Another good news naman tayo, no? Na just like what I've said, no? Na I have my type 2 diabetes and in just 3 weeks from 19, 11, and ngayon, 5.28 na lang yung sugar ko. And kailangan natin siyang i-maintain na lang, no? Yun na yung parang normal. And kailangan natin siya i-maintain until after 1 month, no? So, maybe in December, pa-test ulit tayo, no? And of course, binawasan na yung dosage ng gamot ko. Pero ayun, no? May fatty liver, yun na lang din yung tawag na to, yung winner workout ko na mawala rin. Tapos na yung UTI, no? Actually, anemia is ongoing pa rin, no? Dami kong sakit, di ba? Oo. Then, of course, yung fatty liver, alam ko, go, go, go lang yan. Kaya pa yan. So far, yun lang naman, no? Kine-carry naman every single ano naman. And of course, no? Ganon yung weather, hindi naman din masyado maganda, but of course, dapat yung araw natin maganda dapat. So, back to you, Lian.
Okay, so that's good to hear, Kuya Akim, na okay ka naman na-maintain mo na yung sugar mo. So, laban lang din, Kuya Akim, laban lang din, kasi malalagpasan natin tong lahat. How about you naman, Lian? Kamusta ka?
Ayan. Siyempre, okay lang. Medyo gloomy lang yung weather, pero okay lang. Ah, sabi nga ni Kuya Aki, gloomy yung weather. Basta dito tayo and we're gonna enjoy this episode. So far, low-key excited ako sa episode kasi continuation to nung last week. Hey.
Okay, so ako naman, okay lang din. Medyo nahirapang tumayo ngayong umaga kasi ang lamig ng weather, tas ang sarap matulog. And the past few days, medyo lupay-pay kasi dahil nga sa grades, ayun. Pero as overall naman, okay naman, stay positive lang. So, syempre, bago tayo mag-start, mag-recap muna tayo sa last episode. So, ang ating last episode ay about din sa National Children's Month, kung saan ating pinag-usapan ang mga karapatan, ano nga ba yung mga hamon na nararanasan ng mga kabataan natin ngayon, and ano nga ba yung mga naging reason para dito, and paano natin to somehow masusolusyonan or magiging less na mabigat. And for our episode today, it is the continuation, so we will also be discussing yung National Children's Month, and syempre bibigyan natin ng mas malalim na explanation or ng kwento yung ating topic natin ngayon. So take it away, Jacob.
Thank you, Zany. I'll take it from here. So, going back to it, we just have to babalik muna tayo sa nakaraan. And going back to the last episode, since we were all there, what stood out to you the most from our previous discussion ng Children's Month? So, last episode, we have the same topic. What stood out to you the most? Let's start with, how about Kuya Akim? Can you tell us about it?
Mm, Ayan, thank you so much, no? Siguro nung nakaraang episode, ang dami natin napag-usapan, ang dami ko rin narinig tungkol sa inyo. But the thing is that, you don't need to experience what I have experienced in my childhood just to learn about child's rights, just to learn something about advocating child's rights. It's enough for you na may na, may knowledge kayo, may naobserbahan kayo in the society, no? Para siyang theory na ni Vygotsky na tama ba Vygotsky ba yun? Yung social learning theory na tayo, hindi lang direct experience lamang, kundi um, sa mga nakikita natin sa paligid natin. And it's more than enough, no, na mayroon tayong matutunan din, no, yung pagiging mapagmasid natin, yung pagiging observant natin sa society natin. It's more than enough na meron tayong tawag nito masasabi, o hindi naman sa masasabi kundi na may gawin tayong hakbang to fight to protect the rights of the child. So, yun lamang, Jacob.
Thank you, Kuya. I really agree with that. I really think that everybody, no matter how big or small, they should take steps towards the importance of child rights since we are the future of our nation. So how about let's ask Lian.
Wow, okay. So, syempre sa akin, yung tumatak sa akin yung karapatan ng bata na hindi lang tungkol sa kaligtasan, kundi pati rin sa tamang pagtrato sa kanila, way of treatment, yung occasion, yung pagkakaroon ng boses, yun yung pinaka-critical sa akin. Kasi yung ibang bata, hindi nila alam na may boses sila, na dapat di sila tinatrato ng ganun. Maraming bata yung hindi naririnig o napapahalagahan dahil kulang ang kaalaman ng mga tao tungkol sa kanilang karapatan. So, yun lang naman. Yun sa akin, yun yung sa akin, tumatak. Pero overall, lahat naman maganda. Lahat ng napag-usapan, yun. Thank you, Jacob. Ikaw naman. Sa'yo.
Got it. Thanks, Lian. But before, I was going to say that also. I really agree with what you said. Na, I just wanted to remind all of the kids out there that you do have a voice if you're experiencing mistreatment or if you feel like your rights are being violated. Speak up, use your voice. And all of our help is there to get you out of that situation. We're going to help you, and and we're going to help yourselves to get out. Okay, so that's it for me. Same as Lian. We all of the children out there, you have a voice, and it's very important that you use it to make sure that you're not being mistreated and to remember that you have your rights. All right. How about you, Zany?
Akin, ang pinakatumatak sa akin from last episode is same lang kay Kuya Akim, na hindi mo naman kailangan maranasan yung naranasan ng iba para malaman mo kung gaano kabigat yun and para i-advocate yung mga rights ng mga kabataan because simply observing what you see, I think that's enough na just by observing, you can easily sympathize with their situation. And I think that sympathy is enough na parang mag-push sa akin personally na i-advocate yung rights ng mga kabataan. So, ayun. Back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Amy. Yeah, so that's very much also something very important, another key takeaway from our last episode na we're all in this together, like lahat tayo kabataan and we all have to look out for one another. And with that, I wanted to ask another question also related to the past episode, which is like how everybody's perspective changed. Kung saan ba nag-iba yung iyong perspective galing from the last episode? What did you learn? What changed in your mind? So, I'll go first with this one. One of the biggest things that influenced me last episode was also relating to my last answer that every child has a voice, no? Na I used to think when I was younger na I'm just a kid, I'm still young. Of course it's still true that my parents will be right 100% of the time, but how about for all of those others who weren't as fortunate to grow up with parents as loving as mine, no? So I just want to really stood out to me na, yeah, even though I'm still young, even though I'm still a kid, I still have my own rights and stuff. I'm not saying that di ko naman sinasabi na linalabagan ng magulang ko, yung rights ko. But for everybody else out there, just for a quick reminder. So that's for me. How about for Lian? How has your perspective changed, Lian, since the last episode?
Sa akin, mas malalim yung knowledge ko tungkol sa mga karapatan. Pero same goes tayo na yung sagot kay Jacob kasi yun yung tumatak sa akin and parang the more I ponder about dun is oo nga no, not all kid all kid have loving parents as mine as hindi natin alam yung nila so parang the more ponder about it, parang mas ano yung perspective ko na, be appreciative at some point, gano'n. Yun lang. Thank you.
Very much right. Also, something I forgot to say, so thank you for pointing that out, Lian. Love your parents, guys. Love your parents. So, how about for you naman, Zini?
Sa akin, ang pinaka-tumatak last life ay ang nagbago ng pananaw ko is parang nagbago yung pananaw ko relating to what you said na nung bata din kasi ako, akala ko I had no right to speak kasi I'm not as experienced as those who are mas matanda sa akin. So, syempre, um, I wouldn't voice out kung ano yung mga nagiging suliranin ko, ganon. Pero ngayon, or like, nung nag-episode tayo last time, na-realize ko na it doesn't matter. Yung age, hindi naman niya nagmamatter masyado. Although, yes, mas experience yung mga mas matanda sa akin, pero that doesn't mean na my feelings are invalid. And isa rin sa, nag-shift ng pananaw ko is that there are actually, kumbaga mga kabataan na mas less fortunate than I am as well. Kasi lahat ng mga nakukuha ko, let's say na hindi din naman ako masyadong middle class, ganun. Pero still, I could say na at some point, mas slightly fortunate ako. So, parang, ang bigat sa damdamin isipin na itong mga batang to is, imbis na nag-aaral sila, ayun nga, they have to work. So, ayun, back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Zini. Very much agree with you. So, how about let's ask Kuya Akim naman?
Mm. Sa akin naman, of course, maraming nabago, pero kung isa-isa natin to, abutin tayo ng bukas. Pero yung sa akin talaga, yung pangangalaga sa karapatan ng mga bata, um, kutog nito, hindi natin pwedeng ipilit yung mga bata na na pangalagaan talaga nila yung sarili nilang karapatan. It's because in the end of the day, um, may mga times na nagdo-dominate itong mga adults. And just like what I have said, itong mga adults na to, they try to manipulate yung mga bata. But with that, mahalaga yung role, no? Hindi lamang ng mga bata na alam nila yung karapatan nila. Dapat yung mga magulang din, sila sa mga bata, paano pangalagaan yung karapatan nila. Hindi lang mga estudyante, hindi lang mga parents, hindi lang yung mga magulang. Sa school, yung mga guro, mahalaga rin na maituro ito sa kanila. No, maituro ng mga guro ito sa kanila. Of course, the community itself, no, na talagang dapat na promotekta sa mga karapatan ng mga bata, no. Naalala ko tuloy yung sinabi ni Emma Tiglao no, nung speech na during Miss Grand International yung mas magiging maganda yung world kapag yung mga bata ay maturuan nila, kumbaga, parents teach children with compassion. Yun yung highlight dun sa speech ni Emma Tiglao. Kahit mahalaga yung role natin and even tayong mga kabataan, mahalaga sa atin na malaman din natin kung ano nga ba yung purpose natin sa world. Kasi sabi ni Lian, no, kanina, ni Zian pala na hindi lahat ng pangkabataan magkakapareho ang estado sa buhay. Marami-rami pa rin yung unprivileged ng mga tao. Sabi nga nila, no, hindi masama pinanganak kang mahirap, pero masama doon kung mabubuhay ka ng ganun pa rin, mahirap pa rin. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na sisisihin natin yung tao. Maraming factors about that. That is why, sa karapatan ng mga bata, dapat dun pa lang ay ma-empowered na yung mga bata. Kasi kung alam nila yung karapatan nila, mas kaya nilang paunlarin yung sarili nila. And in the end of the day, they can contribute to our country. Thank you, kapon ka. Kapon ka.
Thank
Mm.
you so much, Kuya Kim, for that. Oh my God, it's like so important. It's very much look past, that in the end, if we teach all the children in the world the importance of compassion and how to be compassionate, in the future, when those children grow up and when they have their own children, the cycle is going to break, right? There's going to be no more grievances against their rights. There's going to be no more violations against them. So thanks for that, Kuya Kim. So I want to go back and just really go back again. No, I just want to look at it through the lens of the real world now, and we're going to have to talk about some the things to keep us we're going to have to talk about the real situation of the world and the context that the children live in so that we're really able to sympathize with them. So I wanted to talk about the like examples of children's rights, what we hear or see in the community, whether that be physical and online. And I wanted to ask you guys if you had any experiences or examples of violations against children's rights, even if it's not your own experience, things that you hear and stuff. So let's start from you, Zany naman.
Okay, so ang ibang nakikita ko sa paligid ko is first of all, discrimination. And I think isa sa nagiging paglabag personally sa akin is yung hindi enough yung opportunities or unequal opportunities para sa mga bata. And yung pagkakait or like basta pagkait ng information ng mga karapatan nila dun sa kabataan. Kasi ayun nga, relating to what Kuya Akim said, if those children knew what their rights were and kung ano yung worth nila, mas may empower sila. And the thing is, they can climb their way out of dun sa kahirapan na yun. So, besides that, yung sa discrimination din, sometimes kasi there's like people na um dinidiscriminate lang yung let's say sa ah isang situation is yung sa jeep, let's say sa jeep. 'Di ba minsan pag sumasakay ka ng jeep, ganun, tapos may mga bata and then mag-hand out sila ng mga parang envelopes ba yun? And then mag-ano sila. So like I kind of experience na kumbaga may katabi akong babae and then kasi parang may accent or like medyo Bisaya yung yung kid or I don't know, basta parang ang quiet kasi nung bata eh. Tapos like parang yung mga babae na katabi ko, medyo mas matanda sa akin na, is parang sila, kinakausap nila yung bata in a mocking way. So, syempre naiinis ako nung time na yun kasi parang bakit ganun yung tono nila and bakit ganun din yung manner of speaking nila towards dun sa batang yun. So, ayun, and sa ko naman, sa experience, parang ayun na rin.
Okay, thank you, Zany. Just hearing that example really does make me feel bad inside na nobody should be discriminated for just the way they speak, And moving over to our newly arrived star. Hello, Ate Daisy. Kamusta po kayo
Hi, Ate
ngayon?
Daisy!
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Kakatapos ng ROTC namin. So ayun, I'm okay.
Thank you, Ate Daisy. So since you are fresh arrival, if that makes sense, I wanted to we were talking about how important it is to understand the context and situations of the youth in the world. So we wanted to ask you about examples of violations and children's rights, like things that you can hear and see. It doesn't have to be personally you, but things you've seen. Any examples of the children's rights?
Yes, so sa panahon ngayon, marami pa rin mga bata na nakaranas ng bullying. Actually, kahit yung college na kami, may
Mm.
naririnig, nakikita pa rin akong bullying or nambubully. Pang mamaliit at minsan pananakit. Actually, naka-witness ako pananakit verbally and physically dito sa campus namin. And yung pagwawalang bahala sa example sa kanilang pangailangan or sa paaralan kung may doon online. Pero usually, yung na-witness ko dito sa campus namin is usually yung bullying talaga, as in, grabe yung bullying dito sa school namin, tsaka yung discrimination sa example, sa language or dialect na ginagamit. Kasi nakaranas na ako noon once. Kasi, di ba, hindi ako, yung dialect ko hindi Tagalog. Ilonggo, di ba? Kasi from Negros. Minsan nabubuli ako and na-discriminate ako sa pananalita ako. So, ayun lang.
Okay. Thank you, Ate Daisy. Stay strong over there. And I just want to remind you that everybody here in Kalambag love you and support you. So hopefully in the future, nobody will have to experience the difficulties that any one of those our examples have gone through, even you, Ate Daisy. So for me naman, I do spend a lot of my time in the online space, and I see a lot of examples of cyberbullying, most especially in video games, which I really don't feel like is fair, since video games is an outlet for our stress, diba? It's a way where you can step away from the harshness of reality and just play some games, have some fun with your friends. But there's a lot of, I wouldn't say just adults on these games, but I suppose some a bit older youth, so yung mga 17, 16 ages that are very how do you say this without being canceled? Very say some really mean things to children online. They discriminate against children just because of their voice. There's no like I was in this game once where I was playing with my teammate who was a bit, I think, likely older than me, and one of our teammates. So since it's a five-player team, had youthful voice, if that makes sense. And immediately nagalit na kaagad yung ka-team ko kahit wala namang ginagawa yung bata. So it just really doesn't make sense to me. And another thing also in the cyberspace that I've seen is on platforms such as Freedom Walls all around. So the bullying there, actually, since one of our projects here in Ateneo is to prevent bullying, in the Freedom Wall is my like district or department is what I'm focusing on. We see a lot of problems of like anonymous posters taking out their hate on people without any proof, without any backup. So malay mo, they might just be trolling, they might just be saying these horrible things about people without it even being true. So this is another thing I wanted to highlight. So anyway, back to it. So how about kay Kuya Akim naman?
God. Pakiulit yung question, Jacob.
Hi.
Oo.
Oh, got it, Kuya Kim. So we're talking about examples of violations against children's rights, what we can see, even if it's not particularly ourselves.
Actually, super rami. I think sa akin pa lang, lahat na, most ano halos lahat na experience ko But siguro unahin natin yung um, tawag nito. Anong unahin ko? Sige, ganito na lang, no? Alam nyo kasi, hindi lang to sa akin na na-observan ko, kundi doon sa mga estudyante ko rin. Siguro talaga yung kahirapan talaga, nagdulot talaga siya ng malaking negative impact sa mga kabataan na nagtulak na rin para malabag yung mga karapatan ng mga bata. No, just like yung sinabi ko before, no, sa education pa lang, instead that that the child will go to school, ano ginagawa? Of course, para makakain, nagtitinda, naglilimos, kung ano pa yung diskarte niya sa buhay para makakain araw-araw. Napakalungkot ng ng ganong senaryo. Pangalawa naman is, alam niyo yung naghihiwalay na mga parents natin, no? Usually kasi nangyayari yan kapag bata pa nag-asawa, oo. Bata pa sila nag-asawa, kaya tapos ang ending magkakasawaan. Sorry for my words, but this is the reality. Then ang ending nun, ayun, no. Actually maraming study no na nagsasabi na talagang kung ano ba teenager ka pa nag-asawa, syempre iba pa kasi yung level ng maturity sa ganong age, unlike sa nag-asawa ka ng ayun sa tamang edad, no. And sino magsasuffer nun? Eh di ang mga bata, no, way back when I was an intern, no, marami ako nakikita mga estudyante na ayun na tawag nito na iba yung behavior nila, something like I don't know why. Yeah. Then when I talk to them, doon ko nalaman na yung iba is separated yung parents, yung iba instead na doon sa family nila tumira umalis doon sa lola na lang kasi nga ganito, ganyan, sinasaktan daw sila ng mga stepfather or stepmothers nila, no? So, doon pa lang, no, there's a big chances na pwedeng mapariwara yung isang bata. Depende na lang kung sino yung mga kaibigan niya, kung napunta ba siya sa tama o maling landas. Yun yung nakakalungkot kapag napunta sa maling landas, no? That is like, lagi ko talagang sinasabi, no, na talagang malaki yung role ng parents pagdating sa mga bata, no? Kaya nga, diba, sabi nga nila, ano yung pag-asawa ay hindi biro. Kasi nga, no, mga bata talaga yung maapektuhan. And I think, um, this is the reason also kung bakit, masyadong mababa yung tingin ko sa marriage, no. Sorry ha, but yes, I'm a Christian, no, but something like, I don't, I didn't believe na ano, yung forever na gano'n na till death do us part, maghihiwalay din naman. Pero the bottom line is this, mga bata kasi yung magsasuffer. Mga bata yung magdudusa sa kasalanan, sa sitwasyon na hindi naman nila ginusto, sa sitwasyon na napasubo lang din sila, pupunta sa school, kulang ng gamit, walang kain, kasi nga, hindi sila masyado nasikaso. Kasi nga, ayun, yun, dahil nga dun sa mga rason na yun, no, kung papalalimin ko pa, abutin tayo ng bukas, no, so mahalaga talaga na ano, yung role ng parents natin. And of course, yung role din, yung nangyayari ngayon na corruption, paglabag na rin yan sa karapatan ng mga bata, no? No, kasi kung babalikan natin yung 2025 budget na pinag-uusapan ngayon, no, mas malaki yung budget ng ano, ng INPA kaysa sa education, knowing that in 1987 Constitution, it stated that yung malaking porsyento ng budget ay dapat mapunta sa education, sa DepEd, no, sa basic education na kasaad doon. Ano nga ba yung basic education? Siyempre, yan yung elementary at saka yung high school. So, dapat doon mapunta yung malaking budget ng gobyerno. But what happened, no? So, mahalaga rin yung role din ng government natin. So, that is why it's very important that we urge our government to make more programs in line with our children. Kasi nga, di ba, lagi natin sinasabi sila yung pag-asa, pero wala, sila yung pag-asa ng bayan, pero wala naman tayong ginagawa. So it's very important that we help each other to protect our rights, to protect our child from different forms of abuses. No, at the end of the day, just like us, they have also a right to live with peace. Kapon ka. Charot! Oh, sige, go back to you, Jacob.
Thank you,
Masyadong
Kuya Akim. Thank you so much for that. You know, nakaka-inspire talaga whenever we hear Kuya Akim. No? It's just so it's so true. That's as much as I can say now. It's so true that a lot of the government doesn't care. It's so true that a lot of the youth go through so much difficulty. So thank you for sharing, Kuya Akim. It's so amazing to have you on here and for all the difficulties you're experiencing. Same with Ate Daisy. We're all here for you. We all love you and we're all here to support each other. Okay? Thank you, Kuya Akim. Okay, so last but not the least, natawag ko na ba si Zane?
Ah,
Okay. So last but not the least is me pala. So some of the nagsagot na pala ako. Okay. I'm so sorry for that. So uh unfortunately we're going to have to take a quick 2-minute break for technical application. So for tech and for a quick water break for us hosts. So thank you guys for keeping in for the first part of for the first part of the episode. Please hold on just for 2 minutes and we're going to be right back. Thank you po. Hello po, welcome back from our quick water break. So we're going to jump right back into it. So we just finished the examples of violations against children's rights, and now I'm going to go to the root of the problem, and I'm going to ask everybody, what, in your opinion, what do you think causes these problems? What do you think causes the violations against children's rights here in the Philippines? Let's start with Ate Daisy naman.
So, hi everyone, welcome back po. So, feeling ko yung mga ugat ng mga problema is nagmumula sa example sa kultura. Paglabag sa mga kultura, example, yung mga bata na hindi nakikinig sa kanilang mga magulang or sa mas nakakatanda. And yung minsan yung yung poverty, yung hirap ng buhay na naglalagay sa mga bata sa mahirap at minsan sa sa mapanganib na mga sitwasyon.
Okay. Thank you, Ate Daisy. How about naman kay Zini?
Okay, so para sa akin, I think yung isa sa ugat ng ng mga problema, especially when it comes to discrimination and bullying, is yung personal norms natin I feel like kasi nangyayari yung mga bullying and discrimination na yan. Like, ay ano ba naman to, yung accent na ito, kakaiba, ganun. I feel like masasabi lang natin kakaiba siya because it's outside our norms. Kumbaga, hindi tayo sanay and syempre meron tayong mga personal values, 'di ba? So, dito din pumapasok yung mga times na parang let's say na, ay, etong person na to maganda, etong person na to is, hindi ka aya-aya, ganun. It's because, like, yung personal perspective natin sa things, like, basta, ayun, like, porket kasi na iba yung ugali, appearance, personality, and accent nila or dialect nila from your own. Yung iba kasi, dinidiscriminate na or kaya binubuli just because of that. So, ayun. And besides that, I think poverty is also another factor. And,
Mm-mm.
ano pa ba, yung ibang norms ng mga sinaunang panahon, 'di ba? Like, eto
Mm-mm.
pag, anong tawag doon? Pag bata ka pa lang, dapat marunong ka na magluto. Marunong ka na
Mm.
maglinis, etc. So, parang nire-require nila. Basta it's yung mga old traditions, kumbaga, na parang napipilit minsan sa mga bata sa age ngayon, which is makabago na kasi. So, ayun.
Thank you very much for that, Zain. You know, I really related to that last part since I'm very much, I used to be compared all the time to my cousins about, ay, si ganon, marunong na magluto. Ay, si ganon, nagwawalis lagi, naghuhugas ng pinggan. But, yeah, thank you for that, for sharing. And how about naman kay Kuya Akim? Oh, si Kuya Akim pala ay nagkakaroon ng technical difficulties. So, let's go over to Lian muna.
Okay. So, meron akong tatlong sa tingin ko na connected at some point. Pero gawin ko na lang siya parang one whole. Yung maling pananaw ng mga matatanda na bata lang sila. Katulad nung sinabi ni Zane kanina na norms, kumbaga, sa matatanda, sa older generation, yung generation before us, before us, is yung lagi nilang naiisip, bata lang sila, ganito, ganyan, na parang other than dinidegrade nila yung kakayahan natin, may requirements sila katulad nga ng sinabi ni Zane. And syempre, aligned to that is yung toxic parenting patterns na nagkokos sa bata na mahiya o matakot na magsalita kasi parang alam na nila ano yung masasabi ng magulang kapag may mali sila nagawa, kapag kunwari mababagrade po, ano ba yan, hindi ka kasi nag-aaral, parang ganito ganyan na yun yung nagkokos sa bata kapag sa bata mo sinimulan kasi at some point as time goes by, the time, 'di ba, tatanda, and kapag tumanda sila, may some point na parang may bubulong sa kanila na yung sasabihin ng parents nila due to toxic, na ano ba yan, di mo ginawa ng tama. Yung parang gano'n, may maririnig silang gano'n. I am a product of that some point na medyo napagalitan ng bata. Then, parang
Mm,
maano siya sa akin kapag kapag may mali ako nagawa. Kahit walang nagsasabi sa akin, may naririnig ako. Parang ganun. So, parang, I would think na isa yun sa mga root cause na kung bakit yung ganitong problema. Yun lang. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you, Lian. Actually, I also relate to your story, and I really feel much that. So, how about I'll go for my turn? So, one of the experiences that, well, not my own personal experience, one of my friends here in Ateneo apparently was a victim of
mm,
severe online bullying and harassment, and because uh to for him he's a bit how do I say this in the proper way? Let's say that he's not very confident, parang ganon, and he often gets picked up for that. Parang mahiyain lang siya. And since he's not able to parang defend himself na hindi niya naman sinasabi, like he doesn't talk back. Some bullies just took advantage of him in grade school pa naman. So hopefully hindi na ganun sa high school. He's much more confident, much more outgoing now. But in elementary, grabe talaga yung mga pinagpo-post niya. Pinagpo-post tungkol sa kanya on Facebook, and I saw he showed me himself. So, good luck na lang no, not good luck. Praying for you. So, and it's so much better to see him all up and happy now that we're friends in senior high. So one of the good things that happened is nakita yun ng mga teachers, and he was given proper counseling, and the teachers and parents worked together to help him out. So now he's doing much better, na-rebuild yung confidence niya. And that's just one of the things, personal experiences that I learned about here in Ateneo. So how about for Kuya Akim naman?
ayan. Ayan, bumalik na. Medyo naghang. So, okay na. Marinig naman ako, ano?
Yes, Kuya
Sige.
Akim.
So, mm, akin naman, ulitin ko yung sinabi ko kanina. Agree ako sa lahat ng sinabi ninyo, no, na yung personal perspective, ganon. Talagang nakakaano din siya, nakakalabag naman din talaga siya. Isa naman talaga siya sa mga root causes. Pero kung titingnan natin, as a society as a whole or in a whole Philippines na ano, yung talagang matagal na hanggang ngayon ay gigil pa rin ako, of course, the corruption. Yeah, of course, no. Lat, sorry ha, but it sounds politically, masyado siyang political, but I think it's time to say something about this, no, or speak up about this, no, for me kasi kumbaga it's my own opinion to ha, it's my own perspective, and I hope you understand this. And siguro tingnan natin yung mga nangyaring bagyo, yung mga past typhoons na nangyari. Usually, 'di ba, maraming mga batang namatay dahil nalunod, biktima ng bagyo. Knowing naman na meron naman mga flood control projects, nasaan? Sige nga, nasaan? 'Di ba? Nakakainis, pero makikita mo na, oh my God, ang laki ng pinondo, tapos ganun lang. Tapos yung ibang mga government projects ayun, parang siyempre nakikita naman natin sa TV, no, sa of course sa KMJS, no, kasi sinubaybayan ko yung special episode nila. Parang maiinis ka kasi pera natin yun eh. Bawat galaw natin may buwis, no? Even kayo, kahit mga bata nagbabayad ng buwis, saan ang paraan? Saan ang paraan sa nagbabayad? Sige, bili ka doon sa grocery. Meron niyang VAT or value added tax. Ayan. So nagbabayad din tayo ng buwis. Bawat kinakain natin may buwis. Tapos ang ending, ganun yung servisyo na matatanggap natin. At saka, ayan, sa pagkakaalam ko ha, not all schools not all municipalities ay nagpa-zero nagpa-zero collection. Oo. So may mga ilan pa rin na may mga collections pa rin. Dito sa Kidapan wala na eh. Pero sa ibang mga municipalities meron pa rin daw. So yun yung isa sa mga kahit na konti lang 'yan, eh kung talagang mahirap yung bata o yung pamilya ng bata, di pa rin nila yan afford. Kahit balik ta rin man natin yan. Kahit piso everyday yan. No? Kung yung piso na yan, kukulangin pa doon sa pambili nila ng bigas, wala pa rin, no? Kung sana lang, no, yung mga binulsa, yung mga nawalang pera ay ginamit na lang sana yon sa mga programs na pwedeng makatulong sa mga bata, no? Pagpapalawig ng kanilang kalaman, sa kanyang kalusugan, sa edukasyon, sa, of course, pagsuporta na rin, no, sa mga hakbang para mapangalagaan sila sa mga sports. Marami pang iba na pwede nating paglaanan para sa mga bata. Pero ano nangyari, no? So, kumbaga, tama si Miss Jessica, no, naalala ko sabi niya, ano, na hindi yung baha yung magpapalubog sa atin, hindi yung kahirapan yung magpapabagsak sa atin, kung sakiman. So, mahalaga na, ano, yung tawag nito, yung good governance na doon talaga. Kasi yung ano ng mga bata, kung yung ganyang klaseng anomalya, magpapatuloy yan hanggang sa next generation. So, ibig sabihin yung mga bata ngayon magiging ganun din in the future. So, mahalaga na maging role model tayo sa kanila. Maging role model tayo para magkaroon ng brighter future yung bansa natin. At yung mga bata, maturuan sila ng maganda at yung maturuan kung gaano kahalaga yung governance. Yung sa ganun ay yung mga kabataan nila next generation ay mapangalagaan din nila, no? Maliban doon sa kahirapan, nandun na yung kahirapan eh. Nakadepende na lang yan kung paano natin, paano tayo makakaligtas sa kahirapan na yan. Pero mahalaga talaga yung good governance, accountability, and of course, transparency. Wow. So, yun lang, Jacob. Balik ko sa'yo.
Thank you, Kuya Kim. So, all the way at the start, yeah, very much I agree. Yung nakakagulat, even the kids nga pala are paying VAT, no? I just realized na one of my experiences was I'm buying like yung 100 pesos na sisig meal, tas naging 112, wala na akong pera because of VAT. So, nadun po ako nagulat noon. So, yeah, so, thank you for that, Kuya Kim. Now, on to one of our last questions, which is, what are some ways that we can prevent this now? What are some ways we can strengthen the voices of the youth? What are some ways that we can make sure that they aren't that they're able to defend themselves when needed, when on kung sila lang ang nakakaalam, so that their voices can be heard. So how about sa'yo naman, Dian?
Siyempre, ayan. Siguro ako is kausapin yung bata. Yung ano lang, yung casual na kamustahin. Kasi at some point for me, nakakatulong yun to make someone open up biglaan. Like, kakamustahin mo lang, magugulat ka, bigla iiyak and stuff na hindi mo alam na may dinadamdam pala siya. The moment na kinamusta mo siya is, nandun siya para nakakausapin ka, para malaman nila na their voices are heard din, na kailangan mo silang kamustahin. And kapag yun, pinagsasabihan, give them a moment na sabihin ano yung point of view nila, that they are heard, kumbaga. Makinig ng hindi huhusgahan yung sasabihin ng bata, hindi natin i-apply yung norms na bata lang yan, wala yang alam. Yes, yung mga bata noon, yes, bata sila eh. Pero the moment na nag-aaral na yan, nag-explore na yan, may alam na yan. Hindi lang natin alam anong span. And yun, encourage din natin sila na sabihin yung mga saloobin nila kahit at some point, oo, magulo sila magsalita, pero as someone, kapag close mo sila, may intindihan mo yun kahit anong gulo ng sabi nila. Ayun yung na-experience ko sa mga bata. Kapag close mo, kahit anong gulo ng sabi nila, maintindihan mo talaga sila. Kaya parang, wow, parang mapapawaw ka na lang. And siguro, yun lang for me. Yun lang naisip ko. Thank you, Jacob. Ikaw
Thank
naman,
you,
anong,
Dian.
mo?
For me, since we did start a bit late today, we started at 1:05. We will be extending to 2:05, and unfortunately, time is running a bit tight, so I'm going to have to answer this one shortly. And unfortunately, actually, I was going to say the same thing as you. Na us youths, we're also, like we're also in this together. We're all in this together. We're still the young people of this world, and just being able to talk to those younger than us na syempre tayo we're a bit older, may kaya na tayo na talking to them and just understanding their feelings. There's a bigger chance na we can help them. There's like a massive chance that we can help them. So that was my answer. And again, sorry po, but we're running a bit low on time. So let's go over to Kuya Akim.
Ayan, no? So, save lang din sa inyong dalawa, ano? Kasi, karon talaga, no? Kasi, nakikita natin yung mga kabataan, mas nag-open up, diba sila, sa kapwa nila kabataan, no? And, sino pa ba magkakaintindihan? Siyempre tayo lang din naman, no? And of course, meron din tayong mga millennial na mga professionals, yung mga Gen Z na mga professionals, no? So, sila yung mas makakaintindi sa atin kung ano may nararamdaman natin. So, siguro mahalaga lang dito talaga kung sino talaga yung pagkakatiwala natin, kung kailan tayo mag-open up, ganun lang. So, mas okay talaga na makapag-open up tayo sa kapwa natin kabataan o para kasi mas komportable tayo nandun yung yung kampante tayo, yung feeling natin na mayroon tayong safe space na na meron tayong mapagsabihan ganon, and sana yung mga government officials, no, or I mean should I say mga LGUs, may mga youth centers para sa ganon is mapangalagaan yung mga kabataan, no, laban sa anumang uri ng karahasan. Yun lang. Back to you, Jacob.
Thank you, Kuya
Mm-mm.
Kim, very much. Now we can also look to our government and hope that they take care of our youth more. How about sa'yo naman, Ate Daisy?
So, ayun. So, gaya din ng sabi ni Lian. So, kasi pwede nating simulan sa simpleng paglapit or pakikinig sa bata or sa ating kaibigan man na may pinagdadaanan man o wala. Dahil masasabi ko na minsan yung presensya, parang siya, pampagaan ng loob ng isang tao. Kahit huwag kang magsalita, pag nandyan ka lang sa tabi or sa isang tao, parang okay na yun eh. Light na yung pakiramdam mo, tsaka masasabi ko para sa mga bata or tao man na takot magsalita ay sana maalala niyo na hindi kayo nag-iisa at na may tao kayo na malalapitan at mapagkakatiwalaan. Mensahe ko lang na ang isang napakalaking hakbang patungo sa pagiging ligtas is lumapit ka sa kaibigan na pinagkakatiwalaan mo, kakausapin mo siya ng taos-puso at nandyan ka lang para sa kanya. Yun lang.
Thank you, Ate Daisy. How about for you naman, Zany?
Para sa akin, same lang din na i-console ko yung mga kabataan dyan kasi once na alam nilang may nakikinig sa kanila, may empower sila, it would give them enough motivation and enough knowledge na yung boses nila, it's important, na may nakikinig sa kanila when they think na wala talaga. So, ayun, nagbibigay daan yun para sa pag-asa, para sa kanila. And nakikita ko din kasi usually na parang pag nowadays, ang mas nilalapitan ko para mag-rant is mga kaibigan ko talaga, mga kapwa kabataan ko. So, if nakikipag-socialize ka sa kapwa kabataan mo about your problems, na feel mo na parang, ay, valid tong nararamdaman ko, na may nakakaintindi sa akin and stuff. So, ayun.
Thank you, Zany. So we're going to go on to our final question, I guess. So it's going to be, if you guys had a message for all the children who are struggling to speak up to defend themselves, what would it be? So a message for your fellow youth, so the children and their parents. I'll start first. So ang message ko para sa lahat ng magulang out there is that to remember that the greatest gift you can give your children is your time, is your willingness to love them and to take care of them.
Ah,
When they felt like they're being heard, when they felt like they're being understand, they grow stronger and more confident. And to remember that a family is built on understanding, support, and love, and it becomes the first layer of a child's life. Tapos naman for all of the youth out there, such as myself, that we are the next generation, and that when we stand together and support one another, every other youth out there, every other young person out there becomes safer and more empowered, and to not be afraid to speak up, ask for help, or help others even. So remember that your small act of kindness might bring somebody else to their absolute prime, to their absolute strength. So yun lang. How about for message mo naman, Kuya Akim?
ay, ako, sige. So, mensahe ko lang sa lahat, no? Hindi lamang sa mga kabataan, kundi lahat, no? Na yung karapatan natin, um, nasa sa atin na yung pinanganak tayo, nandiyan na yung karapatan natin, no? Malaya tayo, no? Sana na may isipin natin yung mga limitasyon natin bilang tao, bilang kabataan, no? Kasi nga sabi nga nila, no, if your right ends, the right of others begin. Kaya na binanggit yung kanina, no, yung kanina doon sa yung tungkol sa expression kanina, yung Tunisian, yung tungkol sa bata na sa jeep, oo. Tapos naman yung discrimination din, nandun na, yes, karapatan nating sumaya. Pero tingnan natin kung sa saya ba nun, may nasaktan ba na iba o wala. So mahalaga na bawat hakbang, i-consider natin kung may nasasaktan ba tayong iba o wala. Yun yung gusto ko, yun yung lagi kong tinuturo no, sa karamihan. Na hindi lahat ng karapatan natin, malaya nating gawin ito. Kasi minsan, habang tinatamasa natin yung karapatan yun, may mga nasasaktan ibang tao. Kaya't mahalaga na hindi lamang tayo yung mag-enjoy, maging sila rin naman. Yung pagpapahalaga sa iba, yung pagkikipagkapwa-tao, lagi ko nasabi ko rin sa estudyante ko rin last time no na madaling maging tao pero mahirap magpakatao. Of course, madaling
Thank,
maging tao. Pero yung pagpapakatao natin, pagtulong sa iba, pagmamahal, at yung pagbigay ng respeto sa iba, alam ko madali lang ito kahit sana mahalaga na yung pagpapakatao natin, hindi lang para sa ating sarili, kundi para na rin sa iba so that we can build peace and of course, masaya tayo mamuhay sa mundong ito. So, ikaw naman, Zian. Oo. Ano yung
Okay,
message mo?
so, ang message ko, first muna para sa mga magulang is that, um, siguro kasi I think na sometimes yung ibang nagiging toxic parents is nakaranas din ng same. Like, nung bata pa sila. So,
Mm-mm.
if those parents know yung naranasan nila way back then and kung ano yung nararamdaman nila about that, I hope na they use that experience as a motivation to do way better than how their parents did. Kasi pag ginawa natin yan sa ating mga anak, there's a possibility na baka ganun din yung mangyari sa anak natin. So, besides that, I also want
Yeah.
to tell those parents na gawing safe place yung kanilang tahanan imbis na papasok yung anak nila dun sa bahay ng may takot and tinitignan sila ng natatakot imbes na may pagmamahal. And para sa kapwa kabataan naman dyan, I hope that alam ninyong yung mga boses ninyo, it's valid. Lahat ng nararamdaman nyo, valid yan. And if ever man na kailangan mo ng someone to listen, lahat kaming mga kabataan dito is willing makinig. So, ayun. How about naman kay, Jake?
thank you, Zany. I already gave my message to all of the children out there. So just another reminder to all of the parents, the greatest gift is your love, and to all of the children that the more we stand together, we're empowered. Ate Daisy, what is your final message for all of the children and for all of the parents out there?
So, hello ulit. Nawala ako kasi may pinuntahan ako. So, para sa mga parents, sana po ay mas maging bukas po tayo sa ating mga magulang. Ang mga magulang sa pakikinig at pagkunawa. Dahil minsan isang tanong sa ating mga anak or sa ating mga kabataan ng kamusta ka? Kamusta ka lang ay kailangan para maramdaman ng ating mga anak po na sila ay mahalaga at mahalaga po ang kanilang nararamdaman. At para po sa aking kapwa kabataan ay naway maging paalala po ito sa inyo na may boses po tayong lahat at mahalaga po ang ating damdamin. At kahit maliit na kabutihan na ipinapakita natin ngayon ay may kakayahang magbago ng buhay ng iba. Yun lang.
Thank you, Ate Daisy. And with that, we're going to now head over to our synthesis of the episode to be led by Kuya Akim. All yours, Kuya Akim.
Ayan, maraming salamat. No? So, napag-usapan natin no, na mas malaliman yung karapatan ng mga kabataan. Paano ba sila maprotektahan? Paano ba sila mapangalagaan? Hindi lamang ang ating batas, kundi maging tayo rin, mga kabataan na may pagmamalasakit sa kapwa kabataan o na natin tinalakay. Ano nga ba yung mga naging epekto nung unang episode sa amin? Ano ba yung mga tumatak sa isipan ng mga kabataan? Then hanggang sa dumating doon sa punto na yung mga karanasan ng paglabag sa karapatan ng bata at panghuli ay yung paano ba tayo makakatulong sa kanila para protektahan yung karapatan nila bilang mga bata. So, yun lamang at alam ko't maraming na pag-usapan kahit balikan nyo na lamang po ang episode na ito. So, back to you, Jacob.
Thank you, Kuya Kim. And now for the announcements, we're going to head over to Lian.
Siyempre, for our announcements, Kalambag every Saturday 1 to 2 p.m. In our YouTube and FB page. And Inclination, now na Envisioning an Inclusive Society every Wednesday 3 to 4 p.m. And Senior City, Adult Learning and Education with a focus on the framework of lifelong learning every Saturday 7 to 8 p.m. Kaya tawagin niyo yung mga lola at lola ninyo for Senior City. And yun lang. Thank you.
Again, we have been Kalambag. Of
Okay.
course, I am Jacob Santos, joined by Zian, Lian, Kuya Akim, and Ate Daisy. Goodbye and thank you. See you next week.